So before I start talking about the episode, I wanna say first that in this episode, like the second half of the episode, it seems like we get introduced to another, I guess you call them special characters. The one that has the nickname Alice, the Star Runner, I think, or um, somewhere around that. But we get introduced to another character that has exceptional skills and strength, and the character, turned out to be a wyvern. Kind of a deformity, I guess he was born with like a new another limb, and he's different in the sense that um I'm guessing the way he was born. um like if you see this, like he's obviously faster for a reason, and I think that has to do with how he was born. Like the other wyverns look like straight up like dragons, but this specific wyvern that we were introduced looks like a straight up pterodactyl, like with the wings, um, and like very special, I guess. Like it's up there. But other than that, we got introduced to kind of the politics. I'm not really gonna go into that because it was kind of tricky. But I will say we did get introduced to like the politics. Like we get to see like we saw like us like we saw like one nation kind of having this secret gathering to decide like what the next move, kind of playing out their strategy. Now that like I guess like what will you do now, pretty much like a war room strategy, I guess you could say. So we get introduced to the politics and what's going on. And the last thing that we got introduced to was this general. He mentions that there's like I forgot which country, but I think he said Australia or something. He said something about that. The country with the blue flags. He said they're hosting this tournament of just gathering strong people, strong heroes, I guess. And so I mentioned that. So I wonder what that whole thing is about. Like, I hope we get more information. Like, why exactly are they doing this? That'll be very interesting. And who's participating in it? Like, pretty sure we'll get to meet a lot of new characters. But I guess I'll have to wait until we get more information about this tournament of power, I guess you could call it. So we'll see how that turns out. But one thing I did want to mention before in this video was that the wyvern at the end, he says, I have to go get something, and then he leaves, and the place where he has to get something, the place where he lands is that city that was destroyed in the first episode, last episode, by the robots and the swordsman. And he kind of gets there, and before he leaves, he says, I'm searching for something. Like, the reason I'm going there is because I want something there I want, pretty much. So he lands there, and that's where the episode cut. But my small theory was that whatever he's looking for, it seems like in the last episode, after the credits, our visitor swordsman was also, he seems to be looking in the robots for something. So I wonder if, like, instead of the wyvern taking it, maybe the swordsman visitor took it with him last episode, and that's why he was kind of rummaging through the robots like opening them up, trying to find this thing. So I do wonder what that thing is, because it seems pretty important, especially for the swordsman and this wyvern to know about it. But it also begs the question, like, how, if that is the case, how would the swordsman know? Because we know that he came. Well, we're not even sure where he came from, because what we saw was that he came from out of the blue, pretty much out of left field. So for all we know, he could have been summoned somewhere else, and I guess knowing him, he kind of got tired of all the rules and stuff he couldn't do, so he pretty much escaped, and that's how he ended up there. But if that is the case, like, what, first of all, what are they, like, what is the purpose? Like, what are they looking for? Because to me, it didn't look you could fit a lot of inside a robot that's fully automated. So there's that. Like, what are they specifically looking for? Maybe something that gives them power, something, or valuable. But the other thing I do want to bring up is, who would tell the swordsman and the wyvern about it? Like, how would, especially the swordsman, like, how would he know about it? And the wyvern, because we know that the swordsman, like, he doesn't, like, he's just a visitor, like, he doesn't know about anything about the politics. So it just makes me wonder, like, how he knew what to get, and like why he was looking for it, pretty much. So like someone had to tell him, and this is where my theory comes into play. I just came up with it, like, while talking about it, so I might miss something, but this is, the overarching thing that I mean. So maybe my theory is that maybe this Australia, the country with the blue flags, maybe they were like summoning visitors, and one of the visitors was this swordsman, and like I said, he probably got tired of all the rules and politic fightings that he probably escaped in. The country is probably too embarrassed to let it out, like, oh, this person that we summoned, a visitor, he escaped our, clutches, pretty much. Like, that would be a huge military failure. That would be an embarrassment. So maybe that's why they're not, like, we didn't hear about it from their side. Like, no one really knows except for them. So I wonder if that is the, what's really happening here. Like, the country he was summoned by, is the same one that is also hosting this tournament of, I guess you call it, power. So, certainly kind of a lot to dig in. There were certainly a lot of, like, theories that kind of pulled out, and I wonder if any of them, come true in the future, but I guess we'll have to wait until future episodes to come out, because I'm strictly an anime only. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait for next week to get the continuation and see, maybe we get introduced to more of these visitors, more of the champions of this world. But overall, I think it was a pretty cool episode. I mean, I know there wasn't much to talk about, but I know there wasn't really much to talk about, but at least we did get some things that we can, kind of predict where the show is going, hopefully. But I think I'm just end it there. Overall, pretty cool episode. Really loved it, and definitely gets me excited for the next week's episode. And one thing before I end this video, I love that dramatic music that they play. Like if you saw the episodes, like you'd know like what theme song I am talking about. It's like a suspenseful, um, that like very cool, very immersive music. I'll say that background music. But I think that's gonna be it for me. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.